I already have Sarah and Sandy. Good morning, ladies. I have Carol with me too. She's behind the scenes.
Hello, hello.
I'm so glad you guys are here. What are you doing on this lovely Saturday morning? Or somewhere, some of you, it's afternoon. As long as I have coffee, it's still morning, in my opinion. If you're here and you're joining us, welcome. If you haven't said hi and you want to take a second to do that, we'd love to hear from you, see where you're from, just so we know when we have questions that come up, what's happening and how we can answer those for you. We have a lot to cover, and Carol has graciously agreed to help me by, hi, Stephanie, by moderating and kind of fielding the questions. So that is very helpful. So thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Oh, Teresa's making an impromptu gift for her husband's 96th birthday today. 96th birthday. It's Veronica. Hi, Veronica. That's okay. We're going to try to keep it moving. It is Saturday, so I want to be respectful. I was like, okay, now don't ask any more questions about Teresa's 96-year-old husband, just in case it could be true. Oh, I'm glad, Stephanie. Carol, are you still there? She may be on mute right now. Oh, I hope I didn't lose her. Let me look. Oh, she's got it on mute. That's why. Awesome. Well, we have a lot to cover today, and I appreciate all of you who have already taken the time to go over and to apply, and just be ready for the fun. I will share a couple of times. I'm going to share my screen really quick and just show you, if you haven't already gone over, whether you're interested in being a maker or a seller, if you will, then please hop over there and take a second to do that. This is what the screen will look like if you are using the link that I will provide in the comments. But all you need to do, if you haven't already signed up, is just go right over here to the sign up area, click that really quick, and it will ask you it will ask you for your name, and that's about it. And then you can join the Makers Market, and you do that right here. And of course, mine pre-fills because I'm already there. And then if you were interested, and those of you who have already been here, it is extremely easy to apply to be a maker. It will have you log in after you've joined, and it will ask you just a couple of very simple questions. So what I would say is, if you are sharing this with, others that may sell something different than, those of us who hang out often, that, just make sure that they're very detailed in what information they provide, how they heard about us, and where they already sell, like if they sell on Etsy or eBay. The important thing as we launch is that we have folks that are really comfortable right now and have already been selling and been shipping and that kind of thing as we kick off. So that way, all of us can then support other makers who may be new in the future that haven't had that much experience. So that is our hope. Carol is back. I can hear her.
Sorry. I had a little technical difficulty, but just so everybody knows, when you see the traveling crafter in the comments, that's actually me typing. Angela's amazing, but she won't be triple multitasking typing in.
When you see me talking with my hands, my Italian hands, that my dad says I can't speak without using my hands. I'm really not magic. It is really just care. Carol did ask, though, that how we will do this is I will be going over some things. I've got some notes so that I stay on track and don't squirrel because I need them. And I will be pausing. Carol and I will pause briefly throughout, like on different topics, so that you can ask a lot of questions. I know if you're like me and you have a question, sometimes you're like, if I don't answer it, ask this now, and I don't have somewhere to write it down, I will forget. So go ahead and you can ask it. Start it with a Q. That will be, or put it in all caps so that Carol can see it. And then she will kind of keep those organized as we talk about different things like how do you get started, and any questions that you might have. Is there anything that I'm missing, Carol?
I think you've got it. And I'm going to put that up on a banner just as a reminder in a minute.
Okay. And one other thing, if you maybe in the comments, if we have the link, just in case people are joining and or watching the replay and want to go hop over.
Sure, I can put the link.
That would be fantastic. So just, you are obviously here because you are curious. You may have already applied to be a maker. And if you watched the video previously where I kind of shared what I was envisioning and what I was hopeful to have happen, I feel like I need to pull this up or down. I don't know. Hang on a second. There we go. I don't know if that's any better, but it's better for me. And you know that the primary goal was first that I was able to have a place. I don't know about you, but I always felt like with some of the other platforms that I sell on that, you have to work really hard. Like you have to constantly be pushing out a different item or product or whatever in order for you to get seen, whether it's eBay or Etsy or Poshmark or whatever platform you might sell. And I often felt like, gosh, it would be nice if, I had friends who I said, oh, I want to buy a pair of, a hat and scarf for my kids for winter. And that I actually had one link that I could actually go to and find somebody who did that. And the other thing is, for those of you who have a YouTube channel, I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time linking Etsy shops and things like that. So how wonderful if I could just hop on and put one link in there and everyone would be showcased. So that was one reason, but the real reason was because I wanted a place that it was beyond just a maker's market or a place to buy and sell. Yes, that's awesome. But I also wanted it to be a place that extended beyond whether I was on Instagram, whether I was on YouTube or any of the rest of you. Because we talk a lot, and maybe it is the artist's mindset among all of us that we need a community and a collective. And so this platform and the pieces and parts that I have been working on and that Carol has been helping me with, and that the technical team has been so gracious to listen to, is that. So those are the purposes. So it's a place where we don't have to feel alone. We can support each other. We can help promote each other's, items if we're selling. It's just something beyond what I could have ever imagined. And I hope you guys think that too. Veronica, I will answer that question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would say all the questions that are coming up right now, those will likely get addressed, but I am keeping track of all the questions, and if anything gets missed in what you're sharing, I'll bring it up.
And I want to thank you guys. These are great questions right off the bat. I'm going to look at my notes for a couple of seconds. So the important part that was important to me is that sometimes I get nervous about buying on some platforms because I'm like, what if this person isn't real? And honestly, I get a little bit nervous sometimes about people buying from me because I'm like, are you legitimate? Are you really, is this real? Are you real? Right. And I don't know. Carol, do you ever feel like that? Like,
Well, so far, I'm just selling to a live crowd, so I've been fortunate on that account. But
yeah, yeah. So I have felt like that on, especially on eBay sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
oh
Um,
yes, oh yeah,
mm,
I buy on eBay, and that can be a little
yeah,
sketchy sometimes.
yeah. So it's a way that that we're able to, vet sellers in advance and know that um, that everyone is legitimate, that they have, integrity and that they know what they're doing, if you will, and that they're legitimate, real people. And it's also an opportunity for people to buy from trusted sellers, right? And the most important part to me out of all that is it helps me to be able to promote all of you. So, sure, you market as much as you want, however you want, whether it's putting your links and everything you do in Linktree, on your website, if you have a website, just wherever that might be. But I can support and market you, for example. Well, I guess I'll get to that. But if you have a new listing, I can support and market that on all of my social platforms. You can do the same for other sellers, which just helps us collaborate and promote and help each other more, which I love. It's one of my favorite things. Um, it's also an opportunity behind the other thing about it is, eventually we will have, and maybe now we have folks that haven't done a lot of selling, or it's their first time and they don't have the marketing background that maybe some of the rest of us do. They don't have, the sales experience. And so I will be able to do coaching sessions, which I'm really excited about, and to help, do promotions and marketing and kind of incentives, which is what I've always loved to do. So that really makes me excited. And then you, as the sellers, don't have to do all that. So that's really cool. Um, Now, one question that always comes up uh, is that you can cross post wherever you want. So if you want to post something on the Maker's Market, you can also still do that on eBay or Etsy or Instagram or wherever. The only thing, and I do this too, is that I have to remember if somebody purchases something from another platform, I just need to take that other item down. It's pretty simple. Which I've had to do, and it was very easy. As long as you have your device, then you should be able to do that. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Carol.
Well, while you're taking a breath,
Yeah.
I just want to say that I've been so excited about this, and I have to brag on Angela a lot because she really has been so selfless with me and mentoring me with the live sales and inviting me along for that. And Angela, you really have a mentor teacher heart, and you're very committed to community and supporting new creators and sellers, and we need you in our corner. And I that there's a value to that you're not asking to be paid for. It's
Well, thank
incredible.
you. Yeah, it's the thing I like to do, and it makes my heart happy. So I hope that uh, translates to each one of you and whatever your goals are. And I hope that you share with me and with others on here what your goals are too. So um, some of the things that were important to me, and I think that they're going to be important to you. I'm trying to like not get all teary eyed, which is the norm. Probably wouldn't be alive if I didn't get choked up at some point.
Sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate you very much. Um, that the listing process is heavenly. It's the easiest thing that I've experienced in all the platforms, and Carol can share her 2 cents. But I mean, for me, it was really easy.
Yeah, it was. I've only listed a few things so far, but I have been taking photos to list more, hopefully this weekend. And We it me onboarding before everybody else gave us some opportunity for me
Uh-huh.
to make so I'm super detail oriented, and so I ask the nth degree questions and drive for Angela and Sienna crazy probably, but it's good because then it's making it easier for us to answer your questions as you come on. But it's incredible. They have a lot of editing features built right in so that you don't have to do all the editing for your photos before you go to list, and it's pretty simple. And we can answer questions about shipping with them a little later because that's simple too. But
Right. And you did say one of your favorite, go ahead and share what your favorite, one of your favorite listing features was. Cause I think it's just one, save time, do things quick.
the white background thing, you
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you can it actually has a feature in the listing where you can upload your photo, and then it will cut out the item that you're listing and allow you to have just a plain white background. So, if you're sitting on your couch and just snapping pictures next to you, as long as the lighting's good, you can
Right.
get rid of your couch cushions and
Well,
have
yeah.
it look different.
Yeah. And
So
I often take like, you know, whatever that poster board, and then I'm, angling, I'm making sure there's no shadows and using it as white. So you can do a transparent background or, remove the background and it's fabulous. So that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Um, Within the makers market, they have just there are notifications, so you can see when another seller has listed something, and if you go, oh gosh, that's really cool, I want to be able to share that, then there's a mechanism that you can actually share their listing with everyone else, which I'll talk about in a second. So I like that. It's like I need to support, whomever it is, Sarah, for example, and I want everybody to know that she's got these things. And now I can share them on all of my platforms. So that's really cool as well. The other thing is there's no invoicing. Now, for those of you who use Etsy and eBay, you don't have to do that anyway. But for Carol and I who do live sales, we have to do our own invoicing. We have to do, um, you have to track down, buyers if need be. And we have to do our own shipping. Once somebody purchases something, and there's a variety of ways that they can purchase, then they charge the seller or the buyer. And then once that person gets their items, just like many platforms, then you get your money. And so you do nothing. Um, Except list it and take pictures and describe it. So that is really you wouldn't have to use your lost light box, right? um and they also they do have an app, but it is I believe just for Apple users at the moment. But you can turn those notifications on and off. The other thing that Carol and I love is that there is calculated shipping. And you can choose which way that you want to ship. And we'll talk about that probably quite a bit. Um, and Carol's got some really good insight on that too. We've had lots of discussion about it. Probably most important for me is it was huge time saving. Um, I can also I can duplicate a listing and I can just keep on duplicating that listing so I don't have to if it's similar items. There's variations so I can, put colors and things like that. Much like other platforms, but it's really, really simple to do. The other thing that was a huge benefit that was important to me when I was working with the team was that the fees in which I am charged and anybody else who uses some of those other platforms. Um, Sometimes there's a lot of hidden fees in there, and I was like, well, in the way that this works, there is not going to be a listing fee. So once you list it, you list as many items as you wish. You're only charged when something sells, and I'll explain that in a few seconds too. And uh, there's no relisting. So once you've listed it, if you want to take it down for a while and put it back up, you're not charged per listing every single time you list it and relist it. That's huge. And a lot of people think, well, but it's only X amount of, cents. Well, that adds up really, really fast. And so I think that was a huge benefit. And the other thing, I don't know what you think about this, Carol, that I loved is as I'm listing things, it tells me exactly what my profit will be.
Yeah.
So if I need to adjust, and as a good business person, sometimes we need to do that. If we say, gosh, that's not even, we put in a number thinking that's going to be fine. And then we go, ooh, but that's not even what I paid for it. I need to make at least this much more. Then you're able to adjust it before you ever post it. You don't have to wait till after you've done it. Did you say something, Carol?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing that's a great feature.
Right. The other cool part is there is a buy it now option. There is an auction option. There is a live sale. Now, not everybody likes to do what Carol and I do live on a sale, but within the maker's market, there is a way that you can have a sale right there. And during onboarding, we'll talk about all of that. I have decided for the time being, because there's a lot of, they're really listening to things that we want in the future, and they're working on some things on the back end. And so until those things happen, I'm just going to wait to use it. So I'll continue to use YouTube just like I always am. And that seems to be working fine. But if you want, you can do a live sale on there. And you can also get the option of making an offer, which, excuse me, that's wonderful too. Like if you have something that's maybe something that's an antique book or something that is of value, and you want to give the ability to your buyers to buy it now or make an offer, you can do that. I'm just looking real quick. Okay, cool. Hi, Sierra. All right, let's open it up for some questions, and I'm going to take your lead because you've been watching. What question? I'm trying to think. Oh, taxes was a question that came up, right?
Yes.
Okay. So because it's a national platform, we do have to do a 1099 just like normal. They calculate all of those taxes. You do not have to. It is collected for you. So yay.
The other question was about shipping. Are you going to talk about that in a general sense, or do you want to do that now?
What was the question?
Veronica was wondering if you have to use pirate ship,
Oh.
and do they do international shipping? Which I know the answers to those things, but you can go ahead and take it away.
Hey, you can chime in anytime that you want. First of all, that you do not have to use pirate ship, but you can use pirate ship if that's your preferred method. Do that. I have tried both methods, and they use Shippo, and we'll get to fees in a second. So you probably know, no matter what processing platform is used, there's a processing fee, whether it's Stripe or Shippo or for collecting fees. So that you can't get around. We know that, right? But for shipping, and I have compared it, and I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, I know Carol has compared their calculated shipping and shipping right through the maker's market versus pirate ship. Very competitive. They find, they're working on the lowest competitive rate. Go ahead, Carol, because you got some.
I was very curious because I was trying to make a decision between offering free shipping or just doing their calculated shipping and taking that into account and passing that on to the seller. And I did end up settling on um, going ahead and having the buyer, I said seller, I meant buyer, having
Yeah,
the buyer go ahead and pay the shipping, because then um, you can, if the buyer wants something expedited in 2 days, you can let them know what that's going to cost and give them all that. If you sell something on there with free shipping, my question was, well, what shipping rate are they going to make me use when I'm offering free shipping? But you do have the option when you offer free shipping to then choose the shipping method before you send it off. You can do ground or priority or flat rate shipping. And yeah, Angela said already they use SHIPPO, which is the U.S. Postal Service mail service. Right now, they're allowing shipping in the US and Canada, and you can turn Canada off if you don't want to sell out of the US.
right. And the cool part is that once I go through and do all of the approvals for the sellers, then I will set a date where we will have an onboarding session, and then we will actually dig into the weeds and um, do a screen sharing so you can see all of that. And I will walk you through everything step by step so that you can be insured will happen, and then ongoing, touch bases periodically as needed. So that's helpful too. Uh, well, something else came. Oh, countries. So this is also this was one of my questions and asks. Was Right now it's U.S. and Canada. For anyone in Canada that wants to become a seller, the process is just one step different than what we do in the US. So once you've been approved, there is a chat room, a hashtag sellers platform, and if you are someone from outside of the US, then I will just uh, make a message out to our technology team, and then they will one-on-one walk you through that one extra step. So it's very easy, it's not hard. And but the good thing is that, with that said, they are adding more countries. I know that's very top. If you know anything about, project management, they have a list of different requests, and I know that that's very high on their list.
Sarah had a question about the app, and we may not quite have the answer for this yet, but it was something we talked about this morning. There is an app and there is the website, and you can shop from the app on your phone, or you can go to the website to shop. She's asking about push notifications for the app. Do you have to get emails to get notifications of like new things coming up in the shop, or does the app have push notifications? Angela and I were asking this morning, and want to get with Sierra to talk to her about it. If you can control how many notifications you get via email or the app, because when you have a large marketplace, maybe you don't want to be having notifications going off all day long. And so that's what we're going to sort out with Sienna next.
And I know there is a way to turn them off. I need to make sure I tell you the correct way. But yes, you can get push notifications, which was a recent addition to that. It was just emails before. So there may be some transition between just getting emails and notifications. So great question. The other question that some of you, at least in the paper crafting or world of digitals, might be asking is, I have at the top of my list, in addition to just a few other things, was an ability to upload digital, so there could be digital downloads, and that is coming. And I will be making announcements on the Makers Market as soon as that happens. But one of the things that I hope to do in the future is offer some coaching courses and things like that, as well as some courses specifically on different topics in the art world. And so being able to link to the courses that I create in another platform and then have people be able to come on and join that was also important. So when that will happen, I'm not exactly sure, but I can assure you that it will, because they are very attentive and very accommodating in the things that we need. Which, to that point, and it's what I told Carol too, don't be afraid to ask something, to put it in, definitely put it in the chat in the makers market. Hey, do you think we could get this, or what, whatever your questions are. The technology team in Sienna specifically, who is my go-to person, is on it. I mean, she reads every single one of those. She knows when something's sold. She has been fabulous. So that is the place in which to ask your questions, especially when you become a seller. You will have access to a special sellers chat room, and that's great. Let's see.
I think the next question is about fees.
All right. So I will tell you that was another one of my big questions. I know Carol and I, to probably nauseum, had this conversation before I even pulled the trigger on making this happen and, working with the team. And that was fees, because that, again, is something that is sometimes a challenge. I will tell you that I did a lot of comparisons, nothing like Carol did, because she knows it all. But eBay is about
11% plus.
actually it's higher than that.
13.25%.
Yeah, 13.25% plus a listing fee of 30 cents on top of every listing. Etsy is 11% plus 20 cents, right? And then you have to relist it every single time that it's expired.
Mercari, 13%.
13%, and Poshmark's 20.
Yeah.
So the fees are it's 10%, basically 10% to the technology of the hosting of the platform, and I'm sorry, 5%. Thank you. And 5% to the makers market. It's that easy. Now, again, I don't know if it's 2 point some percent is that processing fee that you get no matter, whether you use Stripe or PayPal,
yeah,
whatever it is. So that we just can't get around. However, for all of you that are jumping on within the month of November as an applicant who are accepted into the makers market, for your first 30 days, you will only be paid or be charged the 5% plus your processing fees. So this hopefully will help you get the hang of it, make as many listings as you possibly can within that 30 days, and have some wiggle room and getting comfortable with doing that. And so the makers market will not be taking that 5%.
Very generous of you to not only coach us through getting started, but to waive your fee. And that's it's unheard of. You're not going to find that anywhere else, and it's truly a blessing for those of us who are learning.
Well, it's important, because I don't want someone to come on and say, "Oh gosh, this is hard," and then say, "Well, I can't afford to do this without some kind of support." So that is the most important. You get, which, I mean, I hope this is an advantage. You get me, and I will help you market, and I will help you answer the questions, and beyond just the makers market. But if it means working on your YouTube channel or your Instagram, whether it has to be do with selling or creating or just marketing, that is what I'm here for. And although you may know, I'm only 29, but all my life I have been in sales and marketing and educating in leadership development. And so it's why am I not using my God-given talents and the thing that I love the best to bring it to all of you who are small business owners? And, we know how hard it is. So I appreciate that, Carol, and I hope that all of you do too.
Well, and I would say that just remember when you list an item before you release it to the world to see, you're gonna see exactly how much now I don't know if it calculates in like the PayPal and Stripe fee. I guess it does.
Yeah,
It
it
does
does.
have a line for that. But you will see, what if you don't want to do the math, it's right there on the screen for you. Here's what you're going to make after that 5% or 10% comes out of your sale, and here's your processing fee, and here's your final amount you're going to get.
Yeah.
And you can decide right then and there, like, oh, do I need to bump it up 50 cents to cover some of that cost or whatever? So that's there. And then I have a question from Stephanie on the screen.
Sure. Oh, do you have to have you? Absolutely not. In fact, here's what's even better. You don't have to have YouTube. You don't have to have Facebook. You don't have to have Instagram. You don't have to have any social platforms if you don't want to. And the benefit is that you have all of the support from every seller to put your things up there and to help support you too. So, for example, if you are selling, let's see, stained glass window pieces, and somebody asked me, oh, I wanted to get something that was like a dragonfly for my mom for Christmas to put in her window. She really likes dragonflies. And I could say, hey, I know somebody on the maker's market. Let me send you the link and you can go over and shop for that. And you maybe would want to reach out to such and such and see if she'll do a custom dragonfly piece for you. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
something no other platform does.
Well, and there's something really about our YouTube community and starting this off connected to so many people. I think the thing that it spoke to me about is Etsy promotes Etsy, and
Yeah.
they don't promote your stores. You're having to drive people there. And when we're a collective community that's already working together on YouTube, like supporting each other on YouTube, we're trying to buy each other's things, we're trying to promote each other's channel. That's this incredible community that has been being built. It's like to move to something where we have a platform to keep supporting each other in sales is just amazing. And how easy is it going to be? Like my video that came out very late last night, where I did a Friendship Friday and I showed what I bought from both Sarah's Etsy and Danielle's Etsy. When I do a video from things I buy from you on the marketplace, I'm going to drive business back to everybody on the marketplace and to the specific people that I bought from. And so it's a great opportunity to come together as a community and support each other. And it's like Angela's dream was to have a storefront where she could, have all of us, but we're all so far spread apart. So this is our way to have that community place to sell together.
Yeah. And the one thing you said that really, that makes my heart go pitter patter is it's an ability for me, and I'm sure you feel this way too, Carol, to support all of our subscribers who do sell things wherever else that may be, that might not have a social platform. And so that just that gets my gears going. I get excited about that. I love that.
Yeah, Stephanie's saying it's not that she doesn't want to have a YouTube channel. She just doesn't know how to get started. And guess what?
Right. And that's
We
one thing
can help.
right. And that's one thing that I want. That's one of the things that I want to do coaching on, because I've had a lot of people that say, I think it would be cool, but I just don't know how to get started. And so when I have the ability to drive people through the market, makers market, to then come to private webinars or individual coaching, things like that, I'll be able to do that. So in the
Yeah.
meantime, you just got to reach out, but that will
I
be,
know Sandy messaged me. Sorry to interrupt. Sandy messaged me this morning because we've been encouraging Sandy Wilhelmina, who's our other moderator, she has such beautiful work, and we've been really strongly encouraging her to start a channel. And she messaged me this morning, and she's taking baby steps in that direction. And she said, okay, I set up a tripod, and immediately comes to my mind, because I kind of have a teacher heart, and and
you do
I'm
for sure.
and I'm just thinking, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sending you this Amazon link to this. That's not an affiliate link, but here's a $20 boom that will change your life with recording. Don't use a tripod. So those are the kinds of things we've made those mistakes already, and we want to support you in your journey. So
Yeah. Yeah. And the cool part about it is like the way, I mean, I don't use a boom, for example.
yeah.
And because I don't want it in my space. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I'm crafting, I don't want that. But the cool part about being able to do this and having some, live coaching sessions is you can look at somebody's space and say, okay, well, this would work better. What Carol
Right.
used might be better than what I use, or vice versa. So there's just so many cool things beyond just being a seller or a buyer on the makers market. And once again, back to it's really about having a community. And Sarah just said it, and I wanted to point that out. I So there's different kinds of people. Let's just think back to, I think a lot of us can remember DVD players or VCRs. And there's those people that just say, "Ooh, I got a new VCR," and they dive right in and they try to figure out how it works, right? That would be me. I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. That bridge, let's go. We'll jump right on off." And there are people who say, "Okay, I'm taking out of the box. I need to look at it. I need to read the directions. I need
That's
to
me.
follow the step." Exactly. That's our Carol. Um, and then there are people that say, "Okay, I need you to read it to me, and then I need to actually do these steps and able to watch our favorite movie on our VCR." Or, if you're jumping off the bridge, I need to know all the calculated risks and the analytics behind it before I actually go. And so it takes all kinds. And that's why um, I appreciate all of you. And hopefully you will appreciate everyone that is a part of the community. Because, for example, Carrie and I are very much different, but a great example that all right, great idea. Let's go for it. And Carol's like, I want to know all of the details. And then Carrie wants to analyze all of it, so
Yeah,
it works.
after we've started, then Carrie's the one who's like, okay, let's look at the data on how we did this, and then how can we come back and make it better. So yeah, this was a God-given trifecta.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So I hope that helps. Um, and I would also say, if you see people that, are on our lives or that comment on any of our channels, that you really like their comments or whatnot, if they have um, a public YouTube channel, you can subscribe to them, because you never know. They may, like Sandy, end up posting a video. And wouldn't that be cool to have you know, we were here first when Sandy launched her channel? I think it'd be kind of fun. So
Yeah, I was really encouraging people, because we did some Love a Little channel
yeah,
postings at the live sale on Thursday, and I was really encouraging people to follow her, because we don't want to miss that first video.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, one other thing I wanted to share that,
Oh, she's here in the chat. She's being quiet in the chat.
yeah, see, I saw her earlier. So it wouldn't be right if we didn't mention it every single time we have a live.
Absolutely.
One other thing that I wanted to share with you that I think is really cool. Maybe I don't know. I think you guys will think it's cool, but for me, it like really helps me feel like I am supporting every single seller, no matter what I am doing. I, if you haven't noticed, I don't sit still very well, and I always have to be doing something. You know, even if I'm sitting, I have to have my hands busy doing a slow stitch project or whatever. But the one cool um, part, or um, what do I want to say? Another way that we can use the makers market is if I'm on vacation and I'm like, oh gosh, I really feel like I should be listing things, and I need to be doing something, and what can I do on my computer while I'm waiting for an airplane or whatever that case may be, that I can go onto the makers market. I can see that, say, Sarah posted a new kit, or some new books, and I go, oh my gosh, those are so cool. There's something called magic comments. All I do is click on it. I then post it to all my social media. So this is where it's a benefit. If somebody doesn't have social media, it's where I can market and all of the other sellers can market for you. So I go on and I say, oh my gosh, this is cool. I then make a little note. Look what's new on District. Check it out. It will send something out into the universe to all of my subscribers, and it will then give someone who wants it the opportunity to hit claim. Immediately, it sends an invoice to Sarah, so Sarah can package up that item. Sarah gets her money. That person on my platform now has that beautiful vintage book, and I feel like I've made use of my time supporting all of you when I'm on vacation.
Sarah wants to know if it has a vacation mode.
That was a question, and I did not have that on my list. Thank you very much, but I will get the answer. And I apologize. Sienna, who is my main go-to, is it's Saturday, and I was like, you don't have to be here, girl. So I am making lists. She will watch the replay, I'm positive, and we'll probably put some comments in, but we talk often, like every day or two. So I will ask that question and get the answer for you as well. And then you can also use support.district.net once you are, if you're a buyer or a seller, you can use that as well.
How many photos can you, they don't have video capability yet. They're working on that, but how many photos? I'm trying to remember. I think it's 6 photos.
I believe it's between 5 and 7. But I think that's a good amount. Like I think sometimes, and we can talk about this during onboarding, but there are certain things you want to show and that are important. And
I was going to look because I know I maxed it for
I can't
something
remember.
I listed.
I don't know I know it's 6 or 7, but I can't remember. Hi, Gigi. And there was another question that I had. But like I said, when we do that was what I was going to tell you. My plan is, once we get off of today's call, I am going to go ahead and make approvals for all of those people that have currently applied today. Now, remember, during this month, this is the month that you will have a break in those fees. So the makers market will not be charging that 5%. So if you have friends, and remember, you do not have to be a paper crafter in order to sell on the makers market. If you are a watercolor artist, if you sell your handmade items, no matter what those are,
crocheted blankets, quilts,
right? Yeah,
sewn items,
right. And I should probably say what's not, or what shouldn't you sell on there. If it's something that can be used for an art or a craft, whether it's a supply, some of us aren't necessarily selling our handmade goods, but we have lots of supplies to sell. Or, you know, we have things that we have curated throughout our, you know, shopping that we want to sell. That is absolutely fine. The other thing that will be happening is as we get more categories. For example, um, some people might like to use, whether it's mixed media or otherwise, use antique books. Or some people might like vintage papers or whatever. So as things continue to be added to the market, then I can put in tags so that people can search very easily and make collections as well, like for sewing. And then whether it's sewing notions or whether it's embroidery kits or, you know, whatever that might be, to make it even easier and better for you. But I can add those 8 photos max. Oh, see, it looks like I knew that. Thanks, Carol.
Yeah, that was one of my questions for the tags I had for Angela. So I just had to let her know I was listing some stitching packs, and she just whipped up another tag. And then when you're listing, it gives all the tags for the site, and you can pick the ones that you're needing.
Right. And you don't even have to you don't have to let me know. Because I will get all the notifications, and then either the IT team or myself will go in and add those. So if you don't see one and you list something and you're like, oh shoot, that's not there, then I will add it. Or if you have a list of things that you would like added, then by all means, you know, put it in the makers market and the sellers chat, and we will get that taken care of.
Okay, Sarah wants to know what shouldn't we sell?
Oh, I would say like you know, vintage toys, probably not, unless you can use it for some kind of which, you know, I push the limits, because if you can use it to store your art supplies, then I say put it on there. But you know, for example, vintage planters. I use vintage planters all the time to store my items. I use vintage picnic baskets, the tin picnic baskets. If that's something that you want to sell as a storage supply, then knock yourself out. You know, antique glass and vases. We're not going down that road. It is really truly for crafters, artists, and makers. So, you know, and you will know if you put that vintage tin up there and it sits for a long time. Maybe that's not something that, you know, people are interested in, and we can have those conversations in our, you know, ongoing sellers calls and figure out, okay, you know, maybe could we market this different? How could we do that? And do others have these things? So we should make a category for it. So this is not done. This is not Angela's world. They're just there. You have a stake in everything that we do in the future, and your opinion and comments and suggestions really do matter.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I'm coming for French toast too.
I know, that sounds heavenly.
It does. I want to be very respectful of your time, like I said, and I want to make sure that I've answered all of the questions. But by all means, here's what I will ask of you. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. You know that you can always watch this on the replay. You can speed it up to the point in which you want. All of you who are watching on the replay can do the same. But I would say for all of you who are sellers who are going to apply, I'll show you one more time before we go. Please ask those comments. I'll show you where in just 2 seconds. Here we go. Here we go. Let me go to mine. Well, no, it should show up here. Maybe. Hang on, let me get this bigger. Can you see it yet?
Yep.
Oh, well, that's actually good, because I would just go fumbling around because my screen wasn't big enough. Gotta hit share. That helps. Okay. really quickly, just as a recap before we sign off for today. So, if you have never been to district and you haven't joined us in our community, this is where you first sign up. Once you do, you join the Makers Market. If you would like to be a seller, which I hope that you will, then you go ahead and hit the apply button. Easy. Carol, you can attest to this. It's very
Yeah,
easy.
it's like two questions. So it's kind of like, how do I get in contact with you? And now describe what you're going to sell. And that's what Angela was saying, be as specific or as lengthy as you want in your explanation so that, she can better see how you fit, and list places you've already sold. I know she said it early on in the video, but if you have sold somewhere else and you have experience with shipping and PayPal, or some uh, different finance, what am I trying to say, the purchasing programs, then that's who she wants to onboard in the first round, because then when we allow new sellers to start, we'll have a good group of us who have sold already to help support them.
Right.
And Teresa's asking if you're going to do a follow-up video for questions or if you're just going to answer individually
Oh,
um,
great question.
down the road.
Dog may bark. Hang on. Nope, no barking. Um, okay, before I answer that question, let me just follow up with the application. Especially important if you forward this link to your friends who I or Carol or Sienna do not know. The more detail, the better. The more links, the better. The more, hey, I've been selling for X amount of years, whether it's a brick and mortar building and whether it's at craft fairs, that and how they knew that other person is very important, which is something that I'm also very excited for. But you can be sure that in the future there will be some kind of what do I want to say it? Benefit for your referrals. So that is also coming soon. So I'm really excited about that.
There's
And-
two other questions. Just you need to finish, but there's two more questions before you close.
okay. And so then you said Stephanie or Teresa had a question is when will I do a follow up? So one question I want you guys to answer right over here. When I add you as a seller, there will be a hashtag that says seller. It's just for sellers. In that chat group, please tell me what days and times work best for you to do a follow up. Because what I would like to do is just schedule something ongoing that we all know every week or every 2 weeks, or, and then we'll alter depending on what your needs are. But if we know it's at a consistent time, then we can always do that. And I then can probably, I need to not a note for them, but I can record that with a link for all of you and put it in there if you weren't able to show up. Thanks for joining, Heidi. Yeah, I get a little note that says somebody joined.
So we had questions about searching, and I think I can quickly answer them. So they were asking if you can search by maker in the marketplace.
Okay.
So when you go into district, you're going to see different categories of main markets. So we have Traveling Crafter Makers Market, and we're all selling under that umbrella. And then there's other sellers who sell like trading cards, and there's other sellers who sell vintage clothing. And so if you want to search within the Makers Marketplace for one of us who's already selling, you can do that. Your little icon will show up in front of your items that you're selling. And if you can see up here in the corner where it says there's 42 members, you see all the little logos, and you can click on somebody and see if they're selling. To be a member of the Traveling Crafter, you don't have to actually be a seller to be a member. It just means you're following the shop. Here's the sellers right now.
But soon, in just a few moments, there will
Yeah.
be more.
Yeah.
What I would ask, and that makes great sense, is feel free to play around with it, but don't list anything until after our onboarding, um, just so we make sure that you guys all have your questions answered. And so I will do that sooner than later.
And then there was another question about filtering for particular items. And that's what we were talking about, the tags, that Angela can make tags to support different categories. And then you can search by those tags and see all the, like, you can see all the slow stitch items or all the vintage books, or, you know, and she'll keep adding tags as she sees more categories coming up.
Sienna is part of the IT team that is helping develop all of the Makers Market. She does comment on my YouTube as well. I don't know that she has an active channel.
I don't think she makes videos, but she's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then Sarah had the question on the screen.
Yes. You can save save listings as drafts before you're posting, and you can edit them at any time thereafter. And you can use your promotion, your magic comments at any time after too.
And then Heidi has the question on the screen.
Oh, well, I should get back to this. There you go. The only crafting supplies, or nope, both crafted items, handmade items, crafting supplies, vintage, ephemera, antique things. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for you.
Yeah, and Heidi, if you missed that part, she did talk about a little bit about like if an item would be considered like a basket or a tin that could be used as craft storage, that might be okay to do. You're just probably not going to sell hard goods like a glass vase or an antique bowl or something, because it's less likely to be used for crafting. It's okay if you were late.
Oh gosh. Well, you are all the way across the world, girl. So there is that. But I would encourage you to go back and watch at your leisure, and maybe have YouTube open and the Makers Market so that you can ask questions. I did make a note that in the community chats, whoops, that's not where I wanted to be. Down here, I did ask that the IT team add some sort of chat for sellers in the making, or those with questions before they apply. And that way, anybody, whether it be you as a seller or me, can answer some of those questions for them, so they get their answers right away. So that'd be great.
Yeah. Can you scroll down on the screen you're showing a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Because on the side where it's got the hashtags.
That's all the hashtags that will show up if I'm not logged in.
Oh, okay. Well, I am logged in, and there is a seller's hashtag.
That's because you are a seller. As soon as you are, yeah. So as soon as they are approved as a seller, they'll have that too.
Okay, but you're going to ask for one for interested buyers.
Yeah, somehow
sellers.
I'll figure out a way to have it stated so it's clear. But I think that will be a good thing to add.
Yeah, very good.
Because
I would just say again that the link to the district. It's in most of Angela's recent videos. It's here in the chat. At least go in today if you're interested at all in this, and just make a profile in the district website so that we can see who you are when you're chatting and looking around in there. And that's the first step.
Right. One thing I will bring up one more time, because Heidi is here, that I mentioned a while ago. Right now, and don't be discouraged to apply because it's not at all countries. And in fact, do apply if you are from another country, because as they onboard more countries onto the platform, they want to know, where are you at, so we can add you if we've, got several people from, say, Belgium. Um, but they are adding countries and do have a schedule for that. So that's important for you guys to know. Oh, good. That would be awesome. Yeah, because like Sandy, for example, Sandy, who is Wilhelmina, she has yarn. I just bought some for my grandmother. So it does not have to be
paper crafting.
Paper crafting. I have a lot of friends who are artists and that sell, their handmade ceramic pieces or, anything really. So my mom's, I'm going to encourage my mom to join as well. She does some beautiful photography. So why she's not selling it, I do not know. And other things that are beautiful too. So, don't limit yourself. And if you have people, that's how we build our community. Send this on to them. Let them know that this is a safe place for community, that we can support each other. And now is a great time because Christmas is coming and I have done zero shopping. So if I can buy handmade goods and support all of the other makers, that would be awesome. All right. Thank you. Any last minute questions before we say goodbye? Yeah, it's awesome. I don't see any.
Yeah.
Well, Carol, I want to thank you again so much for being here.
Thanks.
And again, the best way to reach out to myself and or Carol is through the Makers Market. So regardless if you want to sell now or maybe in the future, just hop on over and join. We would appreciate it, and ask all of those questions. Sienna will answer a lot of those as well for us. And until next time, friends, remember to take time to just be. I appreciate y'all for being here and for your interest. And for those of you who have already applied to be sellers, look for your email because it should be coming soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
coming.